Yo boys, how we doing? A little bit of a different video today. We're going to speed run pretty much how I'd create a meal plan for either myself or one of my clients. So you can literally see kind of behind the scenes my rationale about creating meal plans, how we actually organise our nutrition for best results when it comes to fat loss and also actual health and making sure we're doing everything by the book. So you can get a bit of a taste as to kind of how I do things. We're going to do this for a calorie deficit to begin with, and then we can do another one on a bulk or a calorie surplus if you guys found this useful. And if you want this tracker, this is something that I've used for clients back in the day. I've got my own app now, so I don't really use this. I can send this over to you, so just comment or DM me on Instagram. Now, let's just do, the average calorie someone needs for a man is around 2,500 calories. So let's do a 2,500 calorie meal plan. And we're going to assume the individual is around 70, let's go 80 kg, 5'10". If this is you, you're welcome. So, first off, for what I would do with those macros is, I'm just going to get my calculator and I'd work it out. But basically, I'd want to do 80 kg. So we always want to start with protein, then fats, and then work backwards. So protein wise, I would say if he's 80 kilograms, we're going to do 2.2. So 2.2, it's 2 times 80 is 160. 0.2 is 16, 176 grams of protein. To be fair, what we'd do is do it in pounds. So 80 kg in pounds is 2.2, so 176 pounds. And then we're going to do 1.2 times 176, which gives us 212 gram of protein. Now, fats are typically 20 to 30% of total calories. I'm going to do 25% because we're in a deficit and I want the person eating more food. And I want that from carbohydrate, which is going to allow for better training performance. So I'm going to do 25%. So what I would do is 0.25 times 2,500, which equals 625. Now, fat weighs 9 calories per gram. So you do 65 divided by 9, which gives me 69.4 grams of fat. So we'll do 69 grams of fat. Now, you know what? I'm actually going to go less. I'm going to go less. And what I'll do is training day and non-training day. So I'll do two variations for you. And I'll just do, so it's obviously 500 calories divided by 9. And that's 55 grams of fat. And then the rest is carbohydrate. I don't need to calculate that because it'll do it for me. And I'll show you that. So what I'll do is I'll basically put in the meals. And then I'll adjust the quantities based on, obviously, the meal plan to make sure that all kind of hits right. But basically what I do is I do 6 meals in an ideal world. So we'll do kind of meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4. And then we'll have a pre-workout meal. Obviously, you can just move the pre-workout meal to when you obviously train. If you work out in the morning, then put this meal 1 or whatever. And then we'll do a post-workout. Because these are really important. Obviously, we need to spike our carbohydrates. So, meal 1, first thing I'd always go for. We'll go some oats. Dark chocolate. Frozen berries, 100%. What else would we go for? Whey protein, because we want to get some protein in. And that's what I'd say for first meal. Then second meal, I'd probably have chicken breast, raw. Gonna put white potato, because white potato is probably best at this point in a deficit. Reason why it's more filling. I'll kind of give you the rationale between those. And then we want obviously our veggies. So 10% broccoli, that would do. Could put sauce in there, but I don't need to. We just allow for 15 grams of sriracha. Then I'll get a snack going, so I'll probably go Greek yogurt, high in protein, 0% fat, obviously. Go for like strawberries. I want some fats in there. Dark chocolate's obviously saturated. I want a mixture of unsaturated and saturated, so I'll go peanut butter for this one. I could have peanut butter in there if it tastes nicer, but swap them around. And then that would be sweet. Meal 4, I want another Whole Foods meal, so I might go chicken again, but to be fair, I'll just mix it up. I'll just go, I want low fat, so I'll probably go steak mince. Just lean beef mince, that would do. Again, I'll go potato. I could put in rice, but the thing is, rice is just like, in terms of how full you feel, like rice isn't the best. Potatoes a lot better. And obviously, 2,500 calories is pretty high, doesn't matter. But when you're like at 2,000 calories, you want to have the same foods in your kind of fat loss diet, and then you want to be adjusting the quantities as you go. So I say keep in white potato. I mean, we obviously want some veggies, so we could just put like country mixed vegetables or whatever. That's what I go for. And then pre-workout, we want higher carbs, so I do a bagel, 100%, honey. A lot of this is the foods I eat, by the way, because they are goated. Fucking hell yeah, dates. And then I want some post-match glycogen, so I put a banana. I'd actually put another bit of fruit in there. Fuck it, kiwi. And then whey protein, 100%, because we want a bit of protein in there. So that's the foods I would eat. I would have some Coke Zeros. I would have around 4 litres of water alongside that. And now, let me cook, let me get to work, and I'll pretty much match those calories and show you exactly how we'd structure it and kind of why I would have this. Now, that's training day, 2,500 meal plan. I'm going to put 2.5 kcal TD, and then 2.2 kcal. Oh, non-TD, that means non-training day. Can merge all of this. Bomber clock. And then I can do this. I'm actually a bit of a go on Excel now, I can't lie. Where have I gone? What the fuck? One sec, lads. Alright, lads, I accidentally ended it, so we've got to edit this again. But where were we? So, back to it. Now, I probably have around 0.75 gram. This might seem confusing for anyone who doesn't understand this, but I'll clean it all up after. So, 75 gram of oats. Probably have around 15 gram of dark chocolate. Fucking hell, I did that wrong. 0.15. Do 100 gram of frozen berries, because obviously portion is 100. Serving size, 1. You see what I'm saying? And 1 scoop of whey protein. Ideally, that would be isolate. In fact, I am going to make that isolate if we've got that in here. Do we? Oh, we don't. Alright, whey protein it is. I'll sort that. Okay, chicken breast raw. So I would have probably around 150 gram uncooked. Actually, no, 1.8. Also, if I get all this right, just by guessing the things, you have to fucking subscribe, because I'm just sick of my job. 200 grams of white potato, 100 gram of tender stem, 300 gram of Greek yogurt, 150 gram of strawberries, 15 gram of peanut butter, 200 gram of lean beef mince, 2.5 of white potato, 1 of country mixed vegetables, 1 bagel, 10 gram of honey. That's not right. That's about 10 gram. So that's a mistake. Dates, I would have probably 80 gram. Kiwi, we just have 100 gram of kiwi. Banana, 100 gram, 1 banana. And then 1 scoop of whey protein. Fucking hell, lads. Look at that on the money. 2.4k calories, 209 gram of protein. We wanted 212. We wanted a bit more fat. I might just keep fats this low, to be honest with you. And then the rest, 311 carbs. We want about an extra 100 calories because we wanted around 2.5k. So in that case, I will do that. Not to worry. And what we want to do is we don't want to increase protein. We don't want to increase fat. That's in a good spot. So I'll just put more dates. 0.9. And I'll just put more food that's healthy. 275 gram. Oh, come on. Increase fats a little bit. Oh, that's too much. 18 gram of peanut butter. And there you go. 2,500 calorie meal plan. Now, I'll just clean this up for you and show you what. In fact, I'll do this at the end. That's your training day. And then I'll show you what the finished product looks like. And by the way, if you are a guy who's 5'2", 80 kilogram, 5'10", and needs a 2,500 calorie meal plan, you're welcome. This is for you. Now, we need to do a non-training day meal plan as well. And I'll walk you through the rationale behind both of these. So, first off, reason why we've gone for this meal plan. So, first off, oats in the morning. You want carbohydrates, fats, and protein with every single meal. So, obviously, nice amount of carbohydrates here. You've got 61 gram, 30 gram of protein, a nice bit of fats, obviously, with dark chocolate. Then 50 gram of protein here. One thing I want you to focus on, right, is look how much protein there is per meal. 34, 51, 37, 52, 13, 24. And all of that hits 210 gram of protein. Now you'll notice there's no meals that have 80, 90 gram of protein. The reason why is because your body simply can't absorb it, and it just gets wasted. It just gets turned into fat and goes to waste. So you'll notice that we're having more meals and we're spreading our protein intake evenly. So make sure you're doing that. And then also you'll notice that look what happens to carbohydrates pre and post workout. 121 gram here and 23 grams, so 140 across, and then the rest are pretty staggered. That's just to obviously spike your insulin and produce some glycogen that will allow you to aid training performance. But you'll look at all the foods here. Everything's pretty much whole food. There's no shit in there. There's vegetables or fruit in every single meal because it allows you to feel satiated and feel full. Low glycemic index foods that digest well. You've got really, really good sources of protein. Pretty much everything's whole foods, which is, you know, allowing for essential amino acid absorption. Despite obviously you've got some trace proteins. You've got, you know, Greek yogurt and protein shakes here and there, but most of it's whole foods. So happy days here. And then we've obviously got white potato, because if you just have a look here, 275 grams, which is quite a lot of white potato. You're only getting 220 gram of protein. Complex carbohydrate, it's really, really good for you. Low in the old glycemic index. So that's kind of why I would do what I would do. And again, you can swap things out. We can put rice in here. This is kind of what works for me and what I'd go off the top of my head. Now, we're going to do non-training day as well. So this is obviously a rest day. The reason why we do a non-training day is because, like, at the end of the day, you're not going to be training every single day. And on those days that you do not train, you're going to be burning less calories. So it would make sense to pull your calories back. And the way you want to do this is through... I wouldn't have 6 meals on a non-training day. There's no need. You just need 5 meals. The reason why we would pull back carbohydrates is simply because you don't need them as much. Like, you don't need the glycogen. So we can up fats. We want to keep protein the same. So what I would do here is up the fats to around 70 gram or so. And I'll just do this manually. I can't be bothered to calculate it. So I keep meal 1 the same, just for consistency purposes. How is that still... never mind. So we'll go same meal. Oats, whey protein, dark chocolate, frozen berries. I can give you a little recipe on how to cook this. In fact, when my DJI Osmo comes, we will cook with this, so don't worry. Now I want to up fat, so I'm going to throw in some eggs today. I only go a couple eggs because I don't want to keep fats too high. Egg whites in there. And we'll put some sourdough. Oh, I haven't got sourdough in here. Brown bread. Nah, fuck that. Just put a bagel. I'll put some spinach in there. Do we not have spinach? Sorry, lads, I haven't used this in a while. What veg can we put in the mushrooms? Oh, so let me put you on some game here. Look at this. 100 gram of mushroom. That's even a little bit too much. 22 calories in 100 gram. That's not even right. It's like 8 calories per 100 gram. It's crazy. We'll go mushrooms. Then I'm going to go chicken breast. I'll go 1.5. Again, I'm just going to keep white potato in. I don't want to even have rice. I'll have rice a little bit later. Fuck it. Tender stem. You can change whatever vegetables you want. And fuck it. I'll just have that again. I'll just have that twice, batch cook it, simple, done. And then I'll have a salmon fillet in the evening. We'll go rice to mix it up. And we'll go tender stem. So you're not overdosing on tender stem. We'll go country mixed vegetables. That's just your frozen veg that you can keep in the freezer. Those are the foods I'd be having. Now, let's cook up some... We want 2.2... Okay, so... You can tell I do this for a fucking living. 100 gram, 2 eggs, 1 bagel, 150 gram of shrooms, 1.2. Fucking hell, that's a lot of rice, never mind. Something's wrong here. Winning. So, obviously I'm not going to get it all completely right. We need 2.2k cal. I need protein higher, and I probably need fats up. So, let's think strategically. What could I do now to add more protein and fats? What meal could do that? Well, I could go harder on the salmon, but I know for a fact most fillets of salmon are 120 grams, which is why I put 1.2. So I'm not going to fill that up, but then think, what could I add? More eggs. Now that goes up to 192, 2.2 fats there, but we wanted more protein. So that's just simply up chicken breast. I'm on training day. Oops. Now just bear with me and you will see what I mean when I put all this together. Now protein's at 216. 215, fats are a little bit too high, so we'll bring fats down a minute. Now at 3 eggs. I might go back to 2 eggs because I've got enough protein from the chicken. No, we'll go back to 3 eggs. Come on, put me at 2.2. Ooh. Cool, now I can do this. Watch this. This is pretty tacky. I'll basically edit all of these. And you can screenshot this, by the way, if you need to. 1 times. 1 scoop. 3 times. 1 times. 1 scoop. Cool. And then what I'll do is I'll just clean everything up now. And this is, trust me, this bit's the most satisfying bit. So you got to stick around for this. I know it looks like I've just been sat here editing, but it's nice to see kind of the rationale of like how I do things. Because if you understand like why and how I do things, then perhaps you can use it for yourself. Or if you just want me to do it for you, then just hit me up. It's absolutely fine. I do this for fun. Cool. So we get rid of all these. Might even have to teach you like how to use Excel. I'm a bit of a goat on it now. Literally run my whole business through this, the old G sheets. But we're just removing all of this because the meal plans are done. And I'm going to show you kind of how I would structure things in a fat loss phase and kind of what I would do with a meal plan each single week, so you are very clear. Alright, and this is the fun part. You ready? Hide rows. And then this is just for like editing purposes, so I can remove all of these. Bomber clot. Extrapolate this. Come on. Oh no, don't do that. Now I can widen that. Whoa. Okay, that needs to be wider. And this individual one needs to be wider, and then we're done. And you can chill out. Cool. That's it. That's pretty much how I would create a 2,500 calorie meal plan for anyone in a deficit. So on your training day, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, pre-workout and post-workout, you've got all of the macros there, which equals 2.5k calories, 210 gram of protein, 322 gram, 43 there. I've explained the rationale. So gives you a nice bit of energy in the morning. I would probably fast, so I'd have this around, if I was waking up at 6 a.m, I would have this around 11 a.m. Then I would have, this is assuming I'm training in the evening, busy guy at work, let's say, I'd have this at 1 p.m. Have this at a snack, 3 p.m. Then I'd train after work, so I'd go 5 p.m. pre-workout, finish gym, 7 p.m. And then that's a really, really small meal, so I could jump in the shower and I could have that at 8 p.m. And then that's your meal plan, and obviously I've explained the rationale, high quality proteins in here, good form of carbohydrates, nothing processed, so your hunger hormones, your glycemic index is all in check, good assortment of fruit and vegetables, good protein absorption, and then pretty much we're pulling back carbohydrate and upping fat on your rest day. So we've obviously got more salmon included here, more eggs, again, more meals throughout the day, and I would have this back, you know, starting at around 12 o'clock, because what it means is, look, you get your last meal at 8, I mean, you're just never hungry. So if you can just firm the hours of like 6 until 11 fasting, you're absolutely sweet, and then you're pretty much good to go. And that's kind of how I do things. I mean, look how easy it is. Like, all right, so say you start to plateau a little bit and, you know, progress goes a bit to shit. That's all you got to do. So you're like, okay, right, well, we need to pull calories back. So first off, I'd probably look at pulling back on non-training day to begin with training day. But if you want to do it on both, simply, obviously, use cardio as a tool, increase that first. But whenever you pull back your calories, do this. Do not change your protein, just pull back carbohydrates. So I'd have to activate these again. But I just come over here and I'd say, right, let's just take down the white potatoes. Right now we're having 200 grams, we're going to have 100 gram there. And then we're going to have, we're having 200 gram there. Let's bring this down to 200 gram as well. Look what happens to calories, 2.4. We need to drop it by, let's say, 200 calories. So we'll just go, right, you go to 150, you go to 150, and we drop straws to there. And now we're at 2.350. And I just do the same over here. Look, right now we're having 100 gram there, 100 gram there, and then, where were the frozen berries? They're at a good spot, Potentially pull back the brown rice a little bit as well. And then you're at 2,100 calories as opposed to 2.2. And then I would continually do that, but I wouldn't drop my calories too low. I would increase my cardio. And that is pretty much how you organise a deficit. If you want a similar video on exactly how I do this on a surplus, let me know. But I hope that was useful. I'm going to head to the gym now. That's today's video done. Any questions, do let me know. If you are someone who just wants a meal plan created for you, reach out below. I'll happily get in touch, kind of look at your physique and tell you what the roadmap looks like, what we can do for you. But other than that, guys, I'll let you screenshot that if you want to, or you can obviously look, non-training day, training day. This is what he does. Subscribe if you found that useful. I'm booking my flight to Thailand next week. It's going to be good. Content's fucking going to pop off. So I hope that was useful. I'm going to leave you to it. Got pool day now. So hope that was useful. All the best. Catch you on the next one. Safe.